2 million years ago, a small group of creatures huddles together as the sun goes down. No claws, no fangs, no thick fur. By every rule of nature, they shouldn't be here. And yet, one of their descendants is watching this video right now. So how did the weakest, most defenseless ape on the continent end up ruling the planet? Around 7 million years ago, in the forests of Central Africa, there was no such thing as a human. Just one shared ancestor whose DNA still links every person alive today to modern chimpanzees. In 2001, in the deserts of Chad, scientists uncovered Sahelanthropus chadensis, possibly one of the first creatures to branch off the ape family tree. Then, in 1974, in Ethiopia, researchers found the skeleton of a small ape-like female who died 3.2 million years ago. They named her Lucy. Lucy stood 3.5 feet tall. Her brain was a third the size of yours, but her hips and knees revealed something huge. She walked upright. Walking freed the hands that could now carry food, carry infants, and eventually carry tools. But here's the twist almost nobody expects. Lucy wasn't alone, and her descendants definitely weren't either. For most of human history, there wasn't just one kind of human on Earth. There were several, at the same time, sharing the same planet. Homo erectus emerged around 2 million years ago. Taller, built for distance, the first to walk out of Africa entirely, spreading as far as China and Indonesia. They controlled fire and survived nearly 2 million years. The Neanderthals had brains as large as ours, buried their dead, and likely made art, surviving brutal Ice Age Europe for over 300,000 years. In a Siberian cave, a single finger bone and tooth revealed an entirely new species, the Denisovans. We've barely found any of their remains, but their DNA still lives on in some populations today. And on the island of Flores, tiny hobbit humans, Homo floresiensis, survived until as recently as 50,000 years ago, hunting dwarf elephants with stone tools. At one point, at least 8 or 9 human species walked the earth simultaneously, competing for the same caves, the same rivers. And thanks to DNA, we know they didn't just compete. Sometimes they interbred. If you have European or Asian ancestry, 1 to 2% of your DNA right now is Neanderthal. Every one of us is genetically a mashup of species that no longer exist. So if there were this many of us, this many chances for someone else to make it, why are we the only ones left? The answer almost didn't happen at all. Genetic evidence points to a population bottleneck, a period around 900,000 years ago, when our ancestral population may have crashed to as few as 1,000 breeding individuals. Not 1,000 people in one town, 1,000 individuals on the entire planet. One bad drought, one disease outbreak, and the whole future of humanity could have ended right there. Later, researchers believe the Toba supervolcano eruption, around 74,000 years ago, may have triggered a devastating volcanic winter. Its exact impact is debated, but the bigger picture holds. We were never guaranteed to make it, and somehow, every single time, it held. On paper, we shouldn't have won. Neanderthals were physically stronger, with brains just as large, sometimes larger. So what tipped the balance? Most researchers point to cooperation. Our ancestors lived in larger, more interconnected social networks, trading materials across huge distances, trusting strangers from distant bands. We also had language sophisticated enough to pass down complex knowledge across generations. A Neanderthal band might outhunt us once. A connected network of humans could outadapt them over centuries. Add exceptional endurance running and long-range weapons like the spear thrower, letting us hunt without clothes, dangerous combat. And as the climate swung wildly, our flexibility spread across varied habitats, let us adapt where rigid specialists couldn't. It wasn't one advantage. It was having more ways to survive than anyone else standing. Every skyscraper, every phone, every person you've ever loved traces back to a small, hunted band of primates. with no business surviving. They didn't have the strongest bodies or the biggest brains. What they had was each other. You are not the result of survival of the fittest. You are the result of survival of the connected. If this changed how you see your own existence, subscribe. The next story might change it even more.